Hey guys, I'm Jeremy with TGP Extras, and today I'll be showing you how to actually import those raw files that you shot on your camera. Because last tutorial I showed you how to install the raw capabilities on your camera, and you may have been shooting some great stuff, but you don't know how to get off your camera and onto your computer to edit it and all that stuff. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So before you get started, with this, you're going to download two files. The links will be in the description. The first link will be the Adobe DNG converter. I'm using version 7.4. There's a couple different versions. Just make sure you get the one that's right for you. Next is the raw to DNG.app, which will be the second link. You're going to download both of these. They'll be essential when you're going through the raw workflow and extracting that footage and making it useful to be able to edit on your computer. So to get started, plug in your SD card into an SD card reader to your laptop. Don't plug your camera in. That won't work. So plug your SD card reader, your SD card in, and it should pop up with it on the side, and you're going to go inside there. And inside of mine I have a DCIM folder, so go inside that, then go inside the 100 Canon folder, and inside of the 100 Canon folder will be the magical raw file that is useless, because it is saying that it can only be opened by Photoshop, which right now is true because we need to convert it so it can be so that some like video editing software can work with it, and we can color correct it, cut it down, whatever you need to do. So to do that, we'll have to convert it, and so I'm going to take this raw file and drag it onto a folder I created on the desktop called Canon. Nothing special about this folder. It's just red in caps and it says Canon, so don't think there's anything special with this folder. It's just a folder that says Canon, and inside of it is the puny raw file. So once I have that done, I will drag this raw to DNG file into that Canon folder also. So right now I have the raw footage from the camera in there and the raw to DNG file in my Canon folder, just those two files. So I'm going to double click on my raw to DNG file, and it's going to pop up with this thing that looks like it's frozen, but it's not. So just click on this little arrow, and it'll say down here in this white space to drag something in the app. So we'll just drag our raw file into the app. And so right now it's analyzing it and converting it, and it's going to extract it to that Canon folder where the raw to DNG file is at. It's going to extract it to there and make it into something that, video editing softwares can read. It's going to extract all the frames there and stuff, so we'll just wait for that. It shouldn't take too long. It's done. So now we have this folder that's all these numbers, but I'm going to rename it footage. And inside of it, there's all these frames. They're .dng, so it looks like we're finished, but we're not. Because if you open all these files, they're just nothing. They're blank frames. Nothing on them. So what we actually have to do is convert it one more time through the Adobe DNG converter to where we can work with them. So before we actually go through all these options in the Adobe DNG converter, I'm going to create a new folder in my Canon folder called new footage, and that is where I'm going to extract the newly converted files to. So first I'm going to select the footage folder, which is where all those blank frames are that right now they're useless. So I'm going to select that folder. Then I'm going to select the footage, the new footage folder, which is where the new footage folder, where the new converted files will be at. Sorry. Then I'm going to rename it raw video. That's fine for a name. And then the preferences, there's no big deal. They're pretty much fine the way they are. So we're going to convert that, and once you click convert, it will analyze the footage folder and find all those frames, and it's going to start to convert them. One more time. Promise this is the last time. So it's converting all the frames that it's found, and this will take a while, so I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to when it's finished. Alright, and I'm back, and the files are finished converting. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK, and I'm going to quit. And so if we go inside this new footage folder, there is actual frames. You can go through those and see that there's actually a picture there. And so next I'm going to bring this into After Effects. So let's come over here. And I'm going to bring this in After Effects and show you kind of what happens and how to do that. So you don't once you have all these files converted and looks like they're all individual frames, you can just take this new footage folder and drag it into your project window, just like that. So it's going to import the whole folder as a sequence. And but before it does that, it actually pops up with this little Camera Raw plugin, I guess you could call it. Maybe it's not really a plugin, I don't know, but it comes with After Effects. It's built in, and it actually is for raw footage or raw pictures, and it allows you to change the white balance and all that, because if you don't already know, raw files allow you to change the white balance, exposure, all that stuff in post, so that you don't have to really worry about it while you're shooting, or you just have more control over it in post. So right now you can adjust, this is the color temperature for the white balance, so I can kind of just make this a little bit better. Just real quick, I'm going to adjust this, make it look pretty good. And then in the really cool thing is in the detail category, although it's different, there's a gain or a basic, tone curve. There's all these different categories up here that allow you to do different effects and adjust the color and the picture, just change how the picture looks. And so I'm going to come into this third one, which says detail, and there's a really cool thing, especially for DSLR users, is a noise reduction filter. So you can I'm just going to turn that up a little. It's really great at reducing some of the noise you may pick up in some of the darker areas of your footage. It's really good at doing that. So I'm just going to adjust a few of my settings, and we'll go ahead and click OK. So you can adjust your color, all your white balance, all that stuff in there, because it is raw footage. So after you're done with that, just click OK. And it's going to create this sequence over here in your project panel. And now I would drag this and create a new composition, but before you do that, you want to check over here where it says frame. And just make sure that it's the right frame rate. This actually isn't the right frame rate. It says that it's 30 frames per second, which right now the settings in my After Effects is to where when you import footage, it automatically interprets it as 30 frames per second, but that's not correct. So I need to right click, interpret footage, main, and then change the assume this frame rate to 23.976, which is the frame rate that I shot in. So then I'll click OK, and now it has the correct frame rate for that sequence. Next, I'm going to drag it down here on the create a new composition button. Just drag the sequence down there, and it will create this new composition with your raw footage. And so now, I don't know how well, I'll take the quality down to half, but you can see that the kitten's moving. So I actually have a raw file, raw video in here that I can edit, change color, do whatever inside After Effects. It's just how you get that workflow. It's a kind of difficult workflow, I must say, because I've done it a few times. But if you want to work with those raw files, this is the way to do it. So it's a little time consuming, but it's definitely worth it to get that raw capability. So it's not that hard. Just make sure you follow those steps, and it should be pretty simple. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'll answer it for sure. We keep up with the comments quite a bit, so just if you have a question, leave it. I'll get back to you. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials or want to know anything else about this raw capability, because it's pretty new, I'm still learning myself. So if you have any other questions about this or anything, just leave in the comments, and also like it if it helped you out, and share it to a friend that doesn't know what they're doing, because they probably need help too. So give them guidance and show them the light. So this has been Jeremy with TGP Extras, and I'll be seeing you guys next time for another awesome tutorial.